when he showed me your photo and he was talking about you, the way he said it was, oh my God, I met this beautiful woman in France and she reminds me of Jade.
Ouch. Why would she tell her that? Mark leaves Mina with his friend, Diana, who just so happens to also be besties with his ex, Jade.
Why would he do that?
That's the big question. Mr. Mark might be more naive than I thought. Diana basically tells Mina she's a rebound while he's out getting ice cream with the baby.
I do think that she is the one that got away for him.
Wow. Mina was getting hit left and right with all the things you never want to hear about your man's ex, especially when he's about to marry you. And I'm trying to figure out Diana's intentions here. Is she trying to shake Mina or actually help her?
Mark tends to move very fast.
Yeah.
I remember with Jade, it was like that. He wanted someone like Jade, I think, because he was still in love with my friend. Honestly, I don't think he got over it.
Yeah, this is getting kind of weird. This side-by-side shot right here is giving documentary about the man who couldn't let go. You know those photos they show on 2020 right before they start connecting the dots?
It's kind of scary.
Plus,
She's coming or no?
oh, she coming. Mina reacts to seeing Jade in person for the first time as they meet up for a woman-to-woman conversation.
I think that's oh my God.
And she is cute, y'all. Ooh, Mina, stay strong, girl. Stand in your power. Let's talk about it.
It's Malicia.
Hey, 90 Day Fans fam, it's Malicia. Before we get into Mina possibly realizing that Mark is not the man she thought she knew, let's talk about another man who is full of surprises. Sarper is trying to be a stand-up comedian now, and he's serious, which is hilarious in itself.
We as men, we are bad liars. But women, they are grandmasters. You get it?
No.
Of course not. I love stage. I mean, I danced for 7 years. It was a hobby and I like that. Attention.
At least he can admit that he likes attention. Not everybody can do that.
Okay, babe, come sit down. Enough of all that.
It appears to be one of those situations where people laugh at Sarper and tell him he's funny. So now he has decided to take it serious, make a career out of it. When he's the type that's funny when he's not trying to be. For instance, this episode, we also see him meet Shakinah's daughter, who is in boarding school for the first time. And he is extremely nervous because the first impression she had of him was from her aunt, who encountered the old Sarper, who was saying crazy-ish out of his mouth like this.
She acts like a slut, you know?
Wait, what?
Slut.
You're saying that my sister acts like a slut?
I mean, bitch.
That's like up.
As he stands in front of bottles he's collected from his nights of sleeping with multiple women. Yeah, to put it bluntly, it was giving broken man who is insecure. But Sarper claims he is no longer that man. And I want to believe him, but it was also just 2 years ago. People change, but did they change that fast?
This is Sarper. Sarper's so
Nice to meet you. Beauty. She is so pretty.
I know, right?
Yes.
She's gorgeous.
She is beautiful. She hopes she get a gist of what Shakinah might look like without all the plump. Shakinah is also adamant about having her daughter's approval to marry Sarper because she hasn't always prioritized her feelings over men in the past.
I like to see him treat my mom with respect, as in the way he talks to her. Like, I know communication gets a little lost, or like the way that he words things, but it's kind of common sense on some of the things you say and you don't.
Period. It's always such a relief when we meet kids on these reality shows and realize they have their head on straight, more than the parents at times.
I think it's so cute that Sarper booked a whale watching trip for us.
Now what happens next is hilarious. It goes back to Sarper being funny when he's not trying to be. And for now, I'll just say hindsight is 2020.
It's a little bit breezy out there, so a little bit bouncy. Hopefully you took any seasick prevention just in case. If you haven't, please let me know.
Shakinah opens up about how she thinks Sarper choosing whale watching was such a good idea because it would be a better environment for him to have a conversation with Sophie instead of talking over dinner.
That's too intense. You know, you need something else going on around you to make it less scary, less...
I thought the same way.
Pressure.
But it's funny and interesting how everything they tried to avoid, all the pressure, the intensity, they got just in an unexpected way.
That's too intense. You know, you need something else going on around you to make it less scary, less...
I thought the same way.
Pressure.
This is why they say when you're thinking of a moment or an event, give more thought and energy to what you want to happen and not what you don't want to happen. Oh, something is going on.
I definitely feel seasick.
You do? Do you feel like you're gonna throw up?
Maybe.
Really?
Shakinah said maybe. Meanwhile, Sarper does.
Sarper? Do you feel sick?
I mean, it's the first impression seeing Sophie for the first time. And right now, everyone is sick.
See, they both are funny without even trying to be. Just everything about them. Sometimes they seem like a normal couple, and then I remember, it's Shakinah and Sarper. 90 Day Fiancé's Ken and Barbie, and two people who were once considered one of the most toxic couples on the show. But now they give mom and dad. But they're still Sarper and Shakinah. You get what I'm saying? Their interactions are just hilarious to me.
Don't let me organize anything from now on.
You better say that, Sarper. Own up to it. If you organize something and it goes awry, that is the go-to line.
Don't let me organize anything from now on.
I won't, babe. Don't worry.
Talk about you make me sick. Sophie said I agree.
She will always think that moment when she sees me. I have a veil face right now for her. Splashing.
Huh? Is that one of those moments where he's trying to be funny?
This could actually be a good topic for you to add to your stand-up routine.
No.
It's comical.
If Sarper really wants to be a stand-up comedian, he can work at it and get better. He just needs to find his comedic style. I actually think storytelling might be his lane. He should consider telling stories about his life experiences. People are gonna laugh just off the strength of not knowing if he's serious and then realizing he is.
2 years ago, when I met with your mother, I was totally a different man.
Sarper goes on to apologize for the wild ride, and he also addresses his past behavior with Shakinah to Sophie.
For example, when I met with Shiraya,
My aunt.
at that time, I really didn't care what her sister says.
You didn't care what she would say, meaning what?
No, I didn't. I care because of my mindset, you know?
I wonder if Shakinah and Sarper practiced this conversation at home. I would not be surprised. He was that nervous.
Hearing him take responsibility for how the situation with him and Shreya did go downhill really opened my eyes as to how he has changed and how he could change even more in the future. And I hope he's not just telling me what he thinks I want to hear. I hope that it's sincere and genuine. I guess we'll just find out.
Sophie says she needs some time to give her mom the approval she wants to marry Sarper. Sophie also tells Sarper and Shakinah they should use the full 90 days.
Shots fired, let's go.
Which is basically saying, I don't think you're ready.
Everyone has to approve me to continue our relationship with Shakinah. That sucks. That's a big challenge. And right now, everything is on me. Always, every day, new burden is on my shoulders.
Well, who put this one there, Sarper? Who put it there?
You.
Moving on to Mark and Mina. Last episode, Mina made what's looking like temporary peace with Mark's daughter, Jordan. In front of Mark's family, she agreed to sign the prenup. But the moment she got alone with Mr. Mark, she said it's not happening. At Just Me says Mark is the problem. If he didn't need a prenup, he would have let Jordan know, and that would have been the end. He's hiding behind Jordan instead of being honest with his future wife. Speaking of Mr. Mark being the problem, fast forward to this week. Y'all, my mouth was on the floor. I felt for Mina. She and Mark are in Florida to visit more family and friends, including his friend's ex-wife, Diana, who was also the woman who introduced Mr. Mark to his ex, Jade.
Just because she introduced me to Jade doesn't make Diana a bad person. Diana said, I got a girlfriend that she worked with at a clothing store. So Jade worked there, and we went out one night, double date, dinner. And then 2 more years, and then I met you. I just thought you guys might have fun together. That's all.
Okay. Oh, she is not happy. Mark then takes Mina to Diana's clothing store. And I'm hoping taking his fiancé to his ex's best friend's clothing store was production's idea. Because, what? Why else would you take your current fiancé into the lion's den like that? Unless this was some sort of covert way of promoting Diana's business, which I'm not gonna lie, if I was in West Palm Beach, Florida, I would probably go. The store looks cute. But even if that is the case, it's risky. But it doesn't seem like Mr. Mark sees it that way, which is a bit concerning.
We had kind of a crazy weekend in North Carolina with a little family drama, so I told her I'd bring her down to your cool shop and, buy her, see what she likes.
Her. Did you get the BMW yet?
Come on. Don't tell her about that. The BMW. No, she's just making this up.
Not Mr. Mark trying to lie, saying she's just making this up. Yeah. Diana hits Mina with this fun fact. Mark bought his ex Jade a BMW. And I don't know if it's just me, but bringing that up felt low-key disrespectful. Just because Diana sees Mina as Jade's replacement doesn't mean she actually is. Asking, did you get a BMW yet? Makes it seem as if Mina is just an object in comparison rather than a full, complex woman in her own right. To me, in my opinion, it feels a bit belittling.
I bought Jordan a BMW. And then when I was dating Jade, I helped her get a BMW. And that was actually a thing between Jordan and Gabe.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Maybe later. I'll put
You're going to have the Maserati and the Aston Martin.
Oh, you're going to throw out even more expensive.
Thank you.
Thank you, crazy girl.
Yeah, Diana had me confused this episode. I could not read her intentions. I wasn't sure if she was looking out for Mina, saying, hey girl, these are the type of gifts he's capable of giving. I just want to let you know. Make sure you get yours, wink wink. Or if she was being a little shady with it. Fast forward, Mr. Mark, cool as ever, you know how he is, seemingly oblivious at times, takes baby Maria for ice cream. And Diana starts spilling all the tea.
Mark was devastated when Jade and him broke up. He was just lonely. I think he really wanted to have a family again. So soon after the breakup, he goes to Paris. He called me to tell me that he had met somebody that reminds him exactly like Jade. I was a little bit concerned after that because I just felt like he was trying to substitute her.
Dang, not the side by side. This is deeper than I thought. Right now, it's sounding like Mark was so in love with Jade that he subconsciously tried to recreate his relationship with her through Mina.
I'm sure if they had stayed a little longer together, he would have definitely asked her to marry him. I feel like he was.
Why exactly the problem for breakup?
I thought she was about to say, why exactly are you telling me this? Are you trying to look out or are you trying to make me feel insecure? But instead, Mina goes on to ask, why did Mark and Jade break up? And Diana says it was a few things.
From what I know, Mark moved her in. They were living together.
And the New Hampshire house.
Mina said,
oh, hell no! And the New Hampshire house.
Apparently, after 1 to 2 months of dating, Mr. Mark moved Jade and her son into a house with him in Florida.
He told me never leave him with the Jade.
He created a room for her son and everything. Just like he did for Mina.
Same me.
Yeah, same thing. So
Crispy Centaur says, how Jordan acts makes so much sense after knowing Mr. Mark has been in these streets, moving his ex in after dating for 2 months, amongst other things. Her dad has a history and she's probably had to deal with a lot of BS. So this time, she decided to speak up, whereas in the past, she may have just kept quiet and let her dad be. She also has to look out for herself and her brother. We are learning about all the things that could be driving her behavior. She knows her daddy, whose decisions have been questionable, hence leaving Mina in the store with his ex's best friend. Speaking of Mr. Mark being in these streets, while he was flying in the sky one day, according to Diana, Jade was at the house and found messages between him and other women on his iPad, which was connected to his phone. Messages and pictures.
I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
He was cheating on her essentially when they were living together.
Why? Tell me why. Mr. Mark was cheating on her after a month or two of being together? There are just some things I will never understand. Mark and Mina have been together for 5 years, and mostly all of what Diana is saying is new news to her.
I'm so sorry, girl. You're gonna marry him, you know what I mean? You wanna be sure, you wanna know everything. Because I don't think that Mark's being very honest. I didn't mean to tell her anything I thought that she didn't already know. Mark should be super transparent with her at this point. But I think he's taking advantage of her in that way.
Statements like that make me think, okay, she's looking out for Mina. But what she says next, oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry, girl. I do think that she is the one that got away from him because he was very heartbroken.
But that is your opinion. Why plant that seed in Mina's head if you know there's no chance of your friend and Mr. Mark getting back together? Some things she said were seemingly helpful, but others unnecessary, in my opinion. If Mina decides to stay with Mr. Mark, for years to come, she might have to deal with that thought in the back of her head that Jade is the one that got away from him. Just why? Why would you plant that seed?
Because for 5 years, I think I'm unique and for the new relationship with Mark. And now I didn't say I'm just, comment dire, remplaçant.
Diana suggests Mina takes Jade's number and set up some time to talk to her. Once Mina gets in the car with Mark, she confronts him about potentially being a substitute for Jade.
I talk with Diana. I'm very surprised.
Surprised what? She's trying to talk you into moving to Florida. No?
It's not funny.
Why not?
Because I'm mad.
Why? What are you mad about?
His chill reaction makes me feel like he hasn't done anything wrong. This is confusing. Mark claims he told Mina about Jade living in the house in Florida, but then he says they never really talked about Jade anyway.
It was a long time ago, and we're not together now. I'm with you. I asked you to marry me. I never asked Jade to marry me.
Because you know she never accepts.
They have 62 days until they have to get married, and the episode ends with Mina looking good. She gets all dressed up, does her hair, her makeup, to go meet Jade for lunch.
I thought you were joking. You're serious about this?
No, I'm very serious.
I'm telling you the truth. But if you think she'll verify that, then go spend the day with Jade.
Mina says she doesn't want to marry a man who lies to her. And if she learns that Mark has lied to her, she's going back to Paris.
Oh, I think that's sad. Oh my God.
Whew, being compared to another woman, especially when love is involved, never feels good. And now Mina is tasked with having to admit that she feels insecure about her relationship with Mark to his ex. I just hope Mina stays in her power and remembers she's a unique, beautiful individual, and she is just there to gain clarity. This could be a real woman-to-woman conversation, or it can go left. I'm interested in seeing how Mina is going to navigate it all. All right, 90 Day Fans fam, thanks for hanging with me. I will see you next time.